and today I'll be talking to you guys about animal testing and why it is unethical. Did you know that every year over 100 million animals die due to animal testing? This includes cats, mice, monkeys, frogs, and many more, even including dogs. These poor animals are tested on for things like cosmetics, medical training, and drug testing, along with many other things. Animal testing is inhumane and unethical, and it has to be stopped. We as the human race have a duty to make the world a better place, and this can start by fighting for the things that cannot fight for themselves. This is one, why using animals for scientific research is unethical. 2, how much it can really harm them, / what their life is really like. And 3, why you should choose to use products only by companies that do not harm animals. This brings me to my first main point on why using animals for scientific research is unethical. If your hamster, cat, or dog were being hurt, you'd do anything in your power to help them and not to let it suffer. Well, it's the same concept. Most people in the world choose to live by the saying, out of sight, out of mind, when it comes to an issue like this one. These animals suffer day in and day out, and we make the conscious choice every day to give the companies that are doing this our money. Many people ignore that this happens. Others choose to believe that dog fighting is wrong, but somehow making living things suffer other than dogs for cosmetics is okay. BBC stated, if it is morally wrong to cause animals to suffer, then experimenting on animals produces serious moral problems. Last accessed on May 5th, 2019. Like stated above, if you put into perspective most of Americans' thinking, they believe that animal abuse is wrong. But when it comes to testing on them, which could be considerably worse, it is considered to be a valid option of testing products, which makes no sense. This brings me to my second main point. This next part will be about how much testing really harms them and why it is still occurring. These animals are stuffed into cages their whole life, constantly waiting in fear for the next time they are injected, prodded, or cut open. They are bred just to be killed at the end of their short life or die from unnatural sicknesses. Babies are taken away prematurely from their mothers. They study their psychological responses and do nothing to care for them. Due to them being trapped in a small cage or area, they are also suffering from psychological problems, literally going insane. These animals are also not treated for pain and instead are dumped into cages after their procedures. It is currently legal for these animals to be burned, shocked, poisoned, drowned, blinded, etc., and have to endure all this pain all alone in a cage. They do not receive any medical attention, and almost all are killed at the end of the trial or die out, like said before, all alone and in pain from unnatural causes. There is not enough coverage on what is really going on behind the scenes for these cosmetics. Due to this, there is a lack of education and people aren't voicing their opinions. This needs to become a more important topic to us. Animal testing also still exists because it is a cheap option for these companies. This brings me to my third and final point on what the solution could be and why people should choose to use products that do not use animals for testing. There are many alternatives to animal testing that can benefit you too. Testing on animals is a horrible procedure that should be made illegal. We should not use products from companies that test on animals because of the torture they endure, and we should all halt our purchases with these products. If we stop buying from them, they will find a more humane way to test their products. These companies choose to use animals because it is effective and cheap, but it also makes them heartless. There are 7,000 proven safe cosmetic ingredients, proving that these companies don't need to be testing on animals, and it is highly unnecessary to harm animals when we know for a fact that this many chemicals are okay for humans. There are thousands of brands that don't harm animals, so we have no excuse not to buy from them. They can also be budget friendly. Many name brands that use animal testing are highly expensive, but those who don't tend to be a cheaper alternative, helping our wallets. This may also mean that the cruelty-free brands are much of the time more natural products that are eco-friendly. Even many of the name brand items we are used to buying are advertising being cruelty-free and transitioning. Just be on the lookout. Some companies to avoid that still test on animals today are Aveeno, Benefit, Bior, Calvin Klein, Essie, Febreze, etc. Again, harming animals is unethical, and we should fight for the things that cannot fight for themselves and become a more humane, caring society. This is 1, why using animals for scientific research is unethical, 2, how much it can really harm them, and 3, why you should choose to use products only by companies that do not harm animals. Overall, buying from these companies and hurting these animals does not benefit you at all, and we all need to become more conscious when it comes to our purchases.